the NBA just released a schedule like of them coming back and the first set of games. So I think it was the first pair of games is going to come in July 30th.
Yeah, that's the
And-
Pelicans Jazz.
And then the Lakers versus the Clippers at 9.
Isn't it
Which
funny
I-
that the guy that started the pandemic in the United States will be the first basketball game? That's hilarious.
I'm wondering how like his relationship with Donovan Mitchell is right now.
I read an article that said that they're fine. They've smoothed the things over. I mean, obviously, Rudy Gobert is probably horrified at what he did. It was funny at the time,
No, it was not.
and it was immediately unfunny right after.
I didn't find it funny. I thought it was stupid. It's
I
like,
thought it was dumb.
No,
like
I mean,
even if
for
it was
him-
just the quote unquote like the regular flu, right?
For him,
like, if
for
you're
him,
sick,
yeah.
yeah, I'm saying, but like if that was me, I'd have been pissed at him. Like if you're sick,
saying-
don't try to get me sick.
For him, he thought it was funny initially, but the amount of regret and guilt and
Yes,
just
like you can see in some of the
self-shame-
videos that he posted.
Yeah, for the last 3 months, he's been sitting with that.
And
So,
like he's seen like all the people dying, and yeah, I mean it would be good for him just to get back to basketball, but yeah,
I mean,
still gonna suck.
he made a very terrible mistake,
Mhm.
but
And he became the face of athletes with COVID for a while.
yeah, I mean, and he's gonna have to live with that. But I don't
Still
think
is.
I don't think that's gonna affect like teammates rally. You know, I think they said probably all they're gonna need to say to each other in the last 4 fucking months. So if they're out there together, they're probably be fine. They're gonna lose anyway because Zion's the fucking truth. Let's be real.
No, another thing
Nikhil
that,
Alexander Walker is gonna ball Virginia Tech. Let's go.
wow. Another thing that came up was the number of players that are starting to opt out.
Yeah,
Right.
the
So you
one
got-
guy from
You got Bertrand's. He's opting out because he's about to be a free agent.
I mean, that's smart
Yeah. Trevor Ariza is opting out
because
because
he's a goddamn joke of a basketball player now.
no, he's
What?
he's in a custody battle with his
He
ex-wife,
gets to see
and
his son.
she only gave him like a month window to see his son. It was like 12 or 13. So he's taking that time to see his son rather than going to play basketball, which
Oh, so he's not
Yeah.
he's not Trevor Ariza of 15 years ago.
but still he starts for the Blazers who are trying to fight for a playoff spot. Then you got Boogie Cousins who said rather than come back, I'm just going to continue to rehab and prepare myself for free agency. Then you got
He's taking care of his mentals and his
Willie
chickens.
Cauley-Stein, who's about to have a kid next month. So, of course, you don't want to risk anything. And then you got Avery Bradley, who does play for the Lakers. And his son, I think it was one of his sons, is high risk. So he wouldn't have been able to come in that bubble. So he said, like, I'd rather just stay, like, behind and be safe with my family rather than risk it.
I mean,
Makes sense.
that makes sense. I read this about the MLB proposal, which pissed me right off, where there's something in the contract that doesn't allow you, if you are high risk, you are able to opt out and
Yeah.
you only lose a portion of the prorated salary. But if you live with someone who's high risk,
You cannot.
that does not apply to you.
Yeah.
And then it said, and this is my fucking issue with baseball. It's so stupid. Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, and I think it was Nolan Arenado, the superstars of the league, they all have or are having children
Yep.
in the next month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? Like, if I'm Mike Trout, fuck you. I got my 500 million, whatever the fuck he's got. It's like, I'm going to sit out.
Yeah.
Baseball is not more important than my child. And I would, if they don't play baseball, I don't care. Honestly, like, I love my Mets so much, but like the NBA, they're trying. They got stuff in there where if you don't want to play, you don't have to play. The bubble's not right for you. Or if you think, I already have an injury plus this, it's not worth it. And they're like, that's fine. Like, the people who want to play and can play, we're going to watch that and people are going to love it. Baseball is like, money, and that's all we care about. And the teams themselves, like, they just want to play. Like, and they want to do it safely. But if they're not going to give them the option to do it safely, I don't care. I don't need baseball this year.
Right.
If that's how they're going to do it,
this year.
Yeah, I don't need
necessary. It's not essential.
I did think about though. What if you're like 90 years old and this was going to be the year that your team won, and then you die and then it doesn't?
I read something about.
I mean, that could be anybody.
I know. If that was me and I was up in heaven, I'd be, well, let's be honest. If I was looking up on the games, I would I would be like, God damn it. But like, that's just me being selfish. We don't need sports. If they're not going to do it safely, fuck right.
Yeah. We don't need sports. It's a bad idea. I think it's the third time I said it on this episode. I know. But as far as basketball, just to rehash just a little bit.
Black lives still matter, everybody.
That has never changed.
As always.
Oh, no, but people, Instagram and Twitter are letting me know that people are forgetting.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Fair enough.
But basketball coming back, it's still a matter of the COVID situation, which is not looking great, especially they're talking about going down to Florida, and Florida is kind of a hot zone now.
Especially
that's an issue.
All the old people in Florida, what are they doing?
That's an issue. So the COVID thing still scares me. There's still the huge part of me that says the return to normalcy as far as right now is a bad idea as far as the movement. I still haven't heard any plans as far as what it is they figure out to do as far as the protesting goes.
I haven't heard anything from LeBron.
LeBron has come out and said stuff as far as like what he's trying to do. He just came up, him and Maverick Carter have $100 million to start doing more black entertainment, black media, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's great.
Those are all good things. LeBron, like I said, I don't question whether or not he means something to the movement, but this is where it gets in that sticky territory, right? Is that I can't say that everybody's wrong when it comes to the movement aspect of things. The COVID part of me says, shut everything the fuck down. Yep. There's the movement part of me is kind of along those lines too. But if you're a basketball player who thinks that like your platform as a basketball player is where you want to be, or you look at the amount of years you have left to play and you're like, I just want to play because this is what I love to do, especially after so many months of not being able to do it. I understand you want to do that. I also understand you got some of those guys that don't have as much money as LeBron or some of the top talents, and they're like, I need this fucking money. I need this paycheck.
I mean, the LeBrons of the league, if they decide we're not going to play because of the movement, those guys can step up and easily cover the expenses.
I'm not even going to get in their pockets like that, even though I think it will be a good thing. But what I want to see is that I need Kyrie. I need those guys to start coming up with a game plan on if they don't play, what it is they want.
That's what
from the league or from anything else.
Saying.
Is that, well, to a certain degree, there needs to be a plan. Like, and I say the same thing as far as LeBron and the people that want to play. If we're going to play, this is what we're going to get. While the NBA has been the most wokest of leagues or anything, I haven't seen the financial commitment like the NFL gave from the NBA. I don't see them in a situation where you have, like, take for instance, the NBA runs off of advertising. Same thing the NFL is basically doing. NFL just announced that they're taking like the first 8 rows of every stadium and they're going to be able to put advertising or anything on. What if as an NBA player, you said, I'm not playing unless every one of the organizations that you have advertising with says that an X percentage of their management is going to be black? Or if you had them say, if X company wants to advertise, the only way I'm going to play for them to get their revenue is if they put X amount of dollars inside the community. Or if Target or Walmart removes one or two of their stores out of the hood so we can get more small businesses in there so that we can have an enterprise. I'm not seeing that kind of plan. I'm not seeing that kind of organization yet, which is why I even go back to like where it is that the movement itself is having some issues with me, is that I think being upset and being in the streets matter a lot. It brings the attention on you. And yeah, there are some politicians scrambling right now to get people to stop doing it. And every once in a while, they're right. Right now, I only see one jurisdiction in America that has actually gone out, and I think it's in Colorado, that said that we're going to get rid of qualified immunity. Where are the other police districts that are doing that? I only got one other police district that said that they're disbanding the unit. Minneapolis. None of the units are doing that.
This has always been my biggest pet peeve with just people in general. It's like, we're doing this. Okay. What's next?
Mhm.
Like, politicians are like, yeah, we're supporting this. Okay.
And that's what's getting lost, man.
Next?
We pull down all the statues. That's not stopping somebody from getting shot in the back.
What are you doing? Like, what? I hear what you're saying, Mr. Politician or Mr. Governor or NBA, but what are you actually doing?
And you know why they do that? Just because that's what's proven to work.
I know.
Like, they'll just say it, and then that'll be it.
I hate those kind of people.
But
I hate it.
But I don't blame them because
no, I don't, because it works. Yeah, it works. If it's the whole thing, hey guys, look over here, and then nothing's getting done. People eat it up. Here.
Gone with the Wind. You couldn't watch on HBO for 2 weeks. Oh my God, we did something. YouTubers are now.
Why did they? I never seen that movie, so why did they take it off?
Gone with the Wind is racist as fuck, but it's an old movie. You just got to be able to put things in context.
The book was written like 120
You
years
ever read Huckleberry Finn?
Wait, what? There's a name in that book.
Yeah, Nigger
I know
Jim.
What it is. Huh?
Was it Nigger Jim or Nigger Tom?
Jim.
Yeah. Okay. You can't. Nobody. No Disney movie's gonna be having that name in the fucking thing. This is about putting things in context. Some shit matters. Some shit don't. Do I like seeing Confederate statues getting pulled down? Fuck yeah, I do. But you know what I'd rather see? Police reform.
Yeah.
So I'd rather see them put in black businesses where those statues were.
That's what I'd really like to see as far as we're talking about the equality aspect of things. But I'm like, everybody's getting so up in arms about stuff. But all right, where are we going to hold people's feet to the fire? If they know that all they got to do is satiate us to a certain degree, and we're still going to play basketball, go to work, create movies, do all this other kind of shit that keeps the machine going, why do they need to change anything? Because there's a possibility that if they said something fucked up 10 years ago on Twitter, we might cancel them. No, it's not enough. It's not enough. Just because you're not outwardly saying racist shit does not mean that we're doing anything to actually get equality going.
And those people getting canceled, they have $200 million. They're just going to go away and be fine.
Boom. Like, it's not.
And then come back.
And come back in some other capacity or have some sort of shadow
company. Like the meme from Tom and Jerry, just sneak back in the
just come through the back fucking door. And the thing is, there's so many very simple ways. Like you were saying, K-Dot, if you're going to put a Walmart in the hood, it should be a requirement that all the locally owned businesses, not just black, but all local businesses, they should get subsidies, and Walmart shouldn't. It makes sense. Right. Like, Walmart is a $1 trillion fucking monster in the room, and they're killing off middle America and lower America because you can't just open up a mom and pop anymore because you won't survive. Well, now those people don't have a job, so they have to go work at Walmart for significantly less. Instead of doing that, why don't we not subsidize Walmart, pull their prices up a little bit, subsidize the mom and pop stores so that their prices can go down a little bit so that there's fucking competition and these people can survive. And if you're using your ad revenue as these subsidies, that works too. Figure it out. I'm not a numbers guy, but they have a bunch of those guys at Walmart. Figure it out.
But there's the other part is that then they complain about, well, the people in the city don't need any more money when we start realizing that every one of the rural areas has farms that are only surviving off of subsidies. Like that.
Like the entire Trump thing with China and subsidizing was all stupid. For farmers.
All the farmers are basically the only way to survive is government money. So there's this. All right, well, we're supposed to be okay with Walmart or Target or AutoZone that comes into a community, wipes out all the business and the equity in the community, and then they pay them a pittance, and the most you can possibly see is, I might be a manager one day. What the fuck is that? Yeah, there's nothing, there's no equity. We need something we can own. We need an opportunity, not a handout, an opportunity. And they're not allowing the opportunity to get there. And that's where I say that if you're an NBA athlete or you have a platform anywhere, you need to leverage what it is you have to actually force people to change. I'm not saying that in any fairness standpoint. I know it's unfair for me to ask you to do that. But if you really want to say you're down with this shit, how far are you willing to go?
Or if you're refusing to remove your Walmarts, how about if you're just going to pay your employees whatever the wage is, why not do a little profit sharing? Why not give them stuff that they have equity in that grows? Come on. Doesn't cost you anything.
Just something. Whether it be if you're working at Walmart, there's a program so that you can rent to own a home or anything. Or to give somebody equity.
If you're giving somebody equity and they work for 10 years and they build that equity, now they have a platform they can go do it on their own if they choose to. Just give them, like, it's just whatever.
I look at my father. My parents are some of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. My mom is, over the entire course of my life, she might have been, other than this pandemic, I can count on one hand the amount of days she ever missed for work, for being sick or anything else. She went to work. Same thing with my dad. My dad has been bumping his goddamn hump at Heckinger's and Home Depot over the course of the last 30 fucking years on concrete floors. Never missed a day. But even if he works for Home Depot until he's 120 years old, they ain't going to get him shit. He has no stock. He has some stock options in the company that'll all go away once he retires and that money gets used up. But no matter how hard he works, he's not going to own anything.
Yeah, there's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling. And it's that's the thing, is that we need to look past this shit as far as, oh, well, they're providing jobs that wouldn't be there. No, fuck that. We need actual opportunity to make something, to own something. We need houses that we can pass down to our kids so they don't have to come out of pocket for the mortgage and the this, that, and the other. We just need something to happen. We don't need a system in which you have to think about becoming $200,000 in college debt to even have a glimpse or a hope to be something. It makes no sense. Some people are not built to be straight A students. I know my black ass wasn't. So I wasn't going to get a scholarship like that. So they need somebody to give them an opportunity. It's not your fault that you were born into a situation in a city that is almost impossible to survive off of if you're not making six figures. You didn't choose to get born there. You didn't choose to be put in the situation that you're in. So what do we do to create more equal opportunity? That's what we have to look at.
It starts at the top. It starts with the NBAs, the NFLs, the Walmarts, the Apples. It doesn't start at the ground level. It starts at the top.
Especially with the black community. Right now, the segment of the community that have the biggest opportunity to actually affect change are our athletes. That's just period. It's not our politicians. It's not really our businessmen. It's the athletes. They have the platform and they have the funds.
And the musicians. I will group them in there. They are the culture.
Sort of. Because a lot with the musicians is that you start looking at the numbers of a lot of these musicians, most of them do not have anywhere near as much money as you think.
No, but it starts at the top. It starts with the Jay-Z's. It starts with the P. Diddy's. It starts there. It starts with the people that have equity trying to figure out how to make the business of music, how you need to change that to make it so that there's equity available to other people.
But that's what I need. I need Kyrie and I need LeBron to start talking to lawyers and politicians and economists to try to figure out how it is we go about what actually the community themselves needs. I've been saying T-shirts ain't enough. We've done that before. Commercials ain't enough. We've done that before. Taking a knee ain't enough. We've done that before. What are you going to do that's different this time around? And we have to hold everybody accountable doing it different this time around. Look, this year is not going to get easier as far as keeping things in the social conscience of people. Coronavirus is coming back with a vengeance. We're getting closer to the election. There are 3 debates that have to happen. I know I'm going to be talking about the debates. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about the debates. There's other things that are going to come down the pipeline. Not to mention this crazy as fucking year has been. I'm still waiting for the Killer Hornets to show back up and fucking shit up. Like, there's going to be something else that happens. There always is.
I'm voting Godzilla.
Yeah, like a Cloverfield monster or some shit. Yeah, I totally understand that shit happening. But that's my thing, is that what are we going to do differently this time? Because right now, yeah, there's been a lot of over things. There's a lot of conscious thoughts in people. I watched 2 YouTube channels, Jenna Marbles being one of them, who I never watched really, but I just watched her apology. She just took down her channel because she's like, at least people are becoming more woke. Cool, that's a start, but how the fuck do we change shit now? How do we start effectively getting these things to get done? Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever live to actually see equality in this country. There's a good chance I won't. But what I do want to know is that my kids and my kids' kids have the ability and the opportunity to get that. So I don't have to look at them in that disappointing way that my parents look at me when they say that we fucked up.
I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. If you don't get the cogs in motion towards the end goal now,
but you got to
start moving.
You got to start moving.
One step.
Got to start moving them.
All right. So, Kadeem, was that your final thought?
It can be.
All right.